Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Life is short, and it's full of a lot of interesting questions. What does happiness really mean? How do I get the most out of my time here on Earth? And what really is the best cereal? These are the questions I seek to resolve on my weekly podcast, Life is Short with Justin Long. Follow Life is Short wherever you get your podcasts. You can also listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens. 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 Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and I'm here as usual with the one, the only, the mozzarella master himself, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
I was attacked by an esthetician. She said, hey, can I go a little rough on you today? And I said, sure. Jesus Christ, just get a baseball bat and beat the shit out of me, lady. I look like I've been attacked by birds. So sorry for Crappens on Demand, but look at me. I look like I've been in a serious fight with birds.
That's the most appropriate look you can have when talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey. Okay, you understood the assignment, as everyone says. Okay, you got attacked by birds. And now you're ready to talk about Teresa, okay?
Yeah, I look completely cray-cray.
You don't look crazy.
But it was nice just to be out of the house because, I called the teledoc and they're like, oh, it's 5 days after you're positive and you're allowed to go out and wear a mask and all this. And I don't know how the world has changed that fast. I mean, I hide under a bench. Like, if you tell me that you have COVID, I'll hide from you for 2 months. I'm not going near your ass.
Any excuse to stay away from people. That's what I say. But anyway, today, the good news is that, I'm sorry that you got COVID, but I think your timing was impeccable because the crappies are next week. And you'll be,
feel great.
You got out of your system. We got the crappies next week. Crappies are on Friday, in case you didn't hear, in case you didn't know. We have a show the night before in Phoenix. And we're going to do some of the categories there, too, because why not? A big Crappies weekend. Phoenix is going to be like the Independent Spirit Awards, the Crappies Oscars, So the ballot, go vote. Go to watchcrappens.com to go vote. Also, go to watchcrappens.com to get tickets to the show if you are in LA. The tickets are getting pretty low, actually. The good news is also, if you are not in the LA area, you can watch the Crappies on Moment House. Go to momenthouse.co/WWC. Again, that link is on Watch What Crappens. But another thing that we want you to do is make some for your consideration videos. Some of these nominees, they need a voice, okay? We had a very, very fun and spirited one campaigning for Yoann from Real Girlfriends in Paris. Really appreciated that montage. I didn't realize how much I needed a Yoann montage in my life until I saw that story. So if you're rooting for one of those nominees, go onto Instagram, tell us why we should all be voting for someone or something, and tag us at Watch What Crappens, and we're going to regram it, and we may include it in the ceremony. So that'll just be a fun thing to do. And then, of course, after the Crappies, we have a whole tour. I won't go into it right now, but go to watchcrappens.com. We're going all across the country, all across North America, from Toronto to San Diego, from Boston to Foxwoods, which is actually a pretty small swath right there. But, we're going everywhere. So come see us. We're really excited. But right now, our focus is really, really on the Crappies. And I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. I was telling Ronnie.
Someone just made this one. It says, for your consideration,
really?
Best villain, the Lisa Rinna raisin bagel. Biggest villain and worst bagel, Lisa Rinneman raisin bagel. That is by Ann Sanders. That is so fucking good.
That is.
So yeah, really creative, really good. And I think Lisa Rinna has a huge chance of winning, especially because of this Rinneman bagel.
Well, once you pair her with a raisin bagel, like her villainy really just skyrockets, you know?
It really does.
Just pair everyone
how are
with
raisins
a
made
hated
from
food.
grapes? They're also adorable cartoon characters that dance around cereal, but they're just so hated. I mean, raisins are very controversial.
You know, I enjoy raisins. I actually had some this morning. I'm
Really?
very pro raisin. Yeah, raisins were my gateway to grapes actually as a kid. As a kid, I didn't like grapes for some reason, but I liked raisins.
You're
now
so persnickety. You know, because
I
here's
like
why I
them both
say
now.
it. Because raisins have like little dots in them, like little seeds or something. Like you eat them, but there's like little, tiny little microscopic seeds. And you know what Ben hates the most in life? Those little tiny microscopic seeds. But you're okay with a raisin. Like
Wait.
you're a
Wait,
fucking mystery that I never am going to understand.
Wait, where's the microscopic seed? I don't think I've
In
had
a
an issue.
raisin?
I've never. I don't think I've had an issue with microscopic seeds. Where did that
Yes,
come
with
from?
berries. You don't like
Oh
those
no,
little...
no, berries is not about the seeds. It's about the flavor.
Oh,
do
you
not
told
like
me
the
once
berry.
it was about seeds.
No,
Okay?
no.
That's been in my
no,
head
no,
for
no.
a very long time, Ben.
No. I'll tell you what it is, because whenever I say I don't like berries, people go, "Oh, is it the seeds?" They always do that. It's like everyone becomes Jill Zarin. It's the seeds. Is it the seeds? Allie doesn't like the seeds. Is it the seeds? So you probably heard someone say that.
No, I probably did it. Oh, you don't like it because the seeds. I don't blame you because they look hairy, like hairy
I
little
figured
seeds
you out.
sitting on a.
I figured you out.
Yeah, I probably did that. God, all this time I thought you hated microscopic seeds, and then here you are just loving seeds. It's like
I was like, I feel like Ronnie is reading me for seeds, but I don't know why.
I'm not mad about it. It's just like one of those things where you know someone for so long, and then you're like, I thought I knew you. And then I feel offended, like you've been lying to me about seeds, and I've been trying to keep raisins away from you. And
some inconsistent seeds. Anyway,
come to our last
it's
crappies
Crappins on
ever.
Demand Day. We'll discuss these seeds issues at the Wilter. Oh, I do have to say this, by the way. So yesterday I had to go to the Los Angeles Department of Transportation.
Oh, fuck off! Not you, them. Oh.
Truly one of the most depressing places I've ever been to in Los Angeles. Like,
they do it on purpose. They fucking do it on purpose. They depress you on purpose. Horrible
it was
place.
So depressing because basically I had to get new parking permits. Like if I want to have friends come over.
Oh, fuck off with that too. What, I can't live on a street?
I know. Because apparently I had 1 month to renew them online. And then after that 1 month, you can't renew them online anymore. I don't understand the point of that. Just let me always renew them online. Sorry if I got to it late.
Did they let you do it in the office? Because I didn't renew mine online, and then I went to the office because I figured that, and they said, no, you have to do it online. And I said, but they won't let me online because it's past the date. And they said, well, now you have to apply to redo it online. And I said, where do I do that? They said, online. I was like, you mother! I hate them. I hate them.
It was very depressing. They did let me get my parking permits. And I will say, in this very depressing office, I mean, I cannot overstate how depressing it was in there. But I will say the glimmer of hope was that behind the bulletproof glass, there was one lady with this big, beautiful hair and a gorgeous poncho. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing here with your gorgeous poncho, but I support. She has nothing to do with the story. The point is that on this very depressing and mundane task I had to do, I had to drive by the Wiltern Theater, which is at this big intersection in LA. It's Wilshire and Western, a really big intersection. There's like a subway stop. That just shows how big it is. And there's only like 3 subway stops in the city. And our name is on the marquee already. And it says, like, it's up there. It says there's something like, I forget the top thing, but it's then us. And then right below us, it's Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon's doing a show the night after us. And then I think after that, it's not up yet, but like I think a week later, it's Lil Wayne. And honestly, I got chills. And I'm not saying this to be like, come to the crappies.
Chills? That's so cute.
No. I mean, how cool is it? Because it wasn't even show day. It's not like, okay, this is the day of the show. They put our name up. It's like in this busy ass intersection where people are crashing into each other. Like our name is just there. Our name is there. And I don't know. It was really one of the coolest moments. I thought, like, I don't know. I was so excited. And then of course went to the Department of Transportation and had all the joy sucked out of me.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. You'll have joy for the 9 months after because you'll be meeting Nick Cannon. I can't wait to see you walking around pregnant with Nick Cannon's next child.
Hi, it's Ben. I'm interrupting this podcast to say that for whatever reason on the podcast, my mic went crazy and I sound crazy for the rest of the episode. I thought it was a connection thing. I thought it was a network connection thing, and that I was recording locally, it would still be fine, so we didn't stop the podcast. It's my fault. I fall on the sword. It was not a network connection thing. It was something with my cables or whatever. So first my voice sounds like a chipmunk, and then I'm able to correct it, but there's still lots of bits and bobs, like, and I add filters, try to make it as listenable as possible. I deeply apologize, and back to normal audio quality on the next episode. I think you can still listen to it, but if you're wondering, why does it sound so not good? I'm like, well, that's our brand. We are Watch What Crappens. But seriously, sorry everyone. And now back to the show.
Be so cute.
Cannon train, just come to the Crappies and just don't leave.
You guys can have an argument about what last name the baby gets, like they're having on Family Karma, and you could have like a Kandelker. You know? Little baby Kandelker.
Little Kandelker, little Cannondelker. Well, he's doing something like about superstars or whatever, but anyway, that was my cheesy moment of happiness. It was like, it really is a big deal. So anyway,
we're really excited for the show. We'll see you guys next week. It is going to be a sprint to the show, and it's scary right now. I'm in that place where Ben's like filled with positivity and seeing positive things everywhere, and I'm just terrified. I'm just imagining like completely failing and everything going wrong, sweating, drowning in sweat, that whole thing. So talk to me Saturday is how I say. But I know, we're super excited.
Yeah, I have some dread inside also. And I think the fact that we're flying in from Phoenix that very morning just sort of makes it scary, because it's like we have that less time to do last minute things. So,
did you just suck on helium?
No, I just had a burp that
my voice is like this now.
Well, you know what? Something's going on with my Wi-Fi. I'm getting a notification that my Wi-Fi is bad. I don't know why. I'm next to my router.
Wi-Fi. It sounds like you just sucked helium out of a balloon.
Do I still sound like that?
Yeah.
Well, that's a bonus for Crappens on Demand right there, because people listening to the podcast are just going to get the local versions of the recording, but people on Crappens on Demand are going to hear my helium voice. So, all
right. Well, let's get on with it, shall we, darling?
Yeah, we're talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, episode 2 today. I'm really enjoying it. I really like this Danielle lady. She's like a cartoon though. But I like her. I like that she's a cartoon, because I think this is a show that really benefits from cartoonish people. So
you're literally talking like a cartoon right now. That's what's so hilarious.
Am I really?
You really are. You're like, I really love this Danielle lady. She's really like a cartoon. I love cartoons. I love cartoon people.
I can't wait to hear this audio back. I don't know why it's doing that. That's never happened in all this time, right?
That's funny. I like Danielle too. I like Rachel too. I like even Fessler, Jen Fessler.
I love Jen Fessler.
I like her. She's like chewing the scenery a little bit, like literally. Like she's a little bit much. She's like, I'm the funny one. She's like the Frenda from the Catskills, that just comes in. She's like, pizza bagel, and we're like, we heard that one,
Yeah.
But I still like her. I think she will kind of dovetail nicely into the show. Pretty impressive record being Jersey, especially because Jersey does not have great luck with Friends of. Poor last
Tracy.
year, what's her buns, Tracy. Oh, God bless her heart. She's probably never going to recover from the online backlash she got. But these ladies, I think, are all good. They're all too much, and they actually make some of the regular cast look a little bit like some stale bread. I mean, some of the cast is looking a little bit like, especially this Melissa and Teresa thing. It's like, why are we listening to this again? This episode is called Family, Family, Family. Are you trying to get people to turn this show off? We're sick of this fucking family, okay? We're sick of it.
I'm sick of this family, but I also feel like I'm like down with this in a weird way, because again, I feel like this is a real thing. Like I think it's actually it's fascinating to me that how their story is like a long game story, right? Like it's not just this is the story for their season. This is like the evolution of this decrepit family, this family that has pretended to get along Or maybe, I don't know, like Teresa, maybe there's something going on with Teresa when it is when men come into her life. On the one hand, it's like, oh, we've been down this path before. But on the other hand, I'm kind of like, I can't believe I'm admitting it, but I'm kind of here for it.
I'm so
Sorry.
sick of hearing
Sorry,
it.
everyone.
Joe's bloated red face. Like, I'm so hurt. You're not hurt. You don't fucking care, okay? You guys have never liked each other. But, it's got enough to keep me interested. That's for sure. So,
yeah, I think it's great. I think it's really on fire. I think everyone has, there's a lot of stuff that's happening.
Let's see. So we're still at this calendar party, right? And Melissa comes up to Dolores because Dolores has just yelled at Jen because Jen is doing what she does every season. She goes to the reunion. She acts like an absolute asshole to people, just rips them apart, says the most hurtful, heinous, horrible things, and then shows up on the season like she's the biggest victim in the world. And that's what she did at that party. So
yeah. She
leaves. Dolores is like, well, you go talk to everyone else besides me, Jen. I'm done with you. And Jen's like, how dare you, baby? I don't need to be around this, you C word. You see, I can say it too, baby. And so she leaves. And then Melissa, who has not been fighting with Jen for 5 seconds, is like, what just happened? Why would it escalate to that?
It's classic Melissa. How did that escalate? And Dolores goes, you know what? She cried to everyone. She didn't come to me first. And then when I tried to talk to her, she was like, we're not friends. So then we cut to Jennifer and Bill. She's getting into the car and she's like, I'm not going to be friends with trash like that, baby.
You just screamed the C word in a party. Who are you calling trash? And then it cuts back to Melissa saying, I think that she just feels like you don't care about her, Dolores. Shut up, Melissa. What are you caping for Jen? Shut up. And so then Dolores is like, fuck her if she says I don't care, because I did care. Have I not gone against every one of you for her? And then we get a montage of Dolores being like, Melissa, I don't think it's nice for you to come for Jen. Marge, I didn't think that was nice to come to Jen. Jacqueline, I don't think that was very nice of you to come to Jen. Frank, I don't think that was very nice of you, what you did to Jen. Dog, listen, I know you've got a 3-lettered name, so does Jen. Maybe that's your common ground. Stop coming for Jen. All right?
Yeah, she's very thorough in her polite defense of Jen. So she's like, I have gone against every fucking one of you. And then it cuts to Jen in her car, still talking like she's in the 50s, going, to think I give a shit about that fucking lowlife, Bill? And he's like, well, look. And she goes, don't look at me, baby.
And then back to Dolores. She goes, and look how she talks to her husband. I'm not even in the car right now. And I'll bet she's just said, don't look me. Don't look me. I'll bet you she did that. And then it cuts back to Jen going, she's a bitch. And Bill's like, well, I know you have. She's nasty. Problems with people. But baby, sometimes you have high expectations from your friends. Sometimes you just need to start expecting a little bit lower of people. Am I right?
That's why I have friends in low places. And the best part about friends in low places, you always have to go down to see them.
The whiskey flows and the booze chases the fears away.
So that Melissa's like, you know what? She just, she wants you to love her and she wants you to obsess over her. And then Danielle, who's the new girl, she's like, wait, so let me tell you something. She had us in the corner there for a good 45 minutes, Kay? Because she's a big K punctuator. Like she'll punctuate her sentences with a K.
You know what, Kay? Because she's coming from a place of hurt. All right? Say she just wanted you guys to talk. She's just wanted you guys to talk, Sis. I was like, okay, Staten Island, you don't need to change the verbiage of like every word. It's like, I'm from disease to Staten Island disease. Okay, we got it.
And Teresa's like, yeah, you just need to talk. And so Dolores and Teresa, I don't want to have anything to do with that.
And then back to Jen. She's like, I thought but when she pulled me over, it was her opportunity to show me that she cared about me. I just want to be loved. Is that so wrong? But it was all a big joke. A joke, Bill. A big old joke. I'm just going to mourn the loss and move on. Santa Maria, Madre de Dios. I'm done, Bill, done. He's like, maybe befriend Melissa. We could use a couple of card nights over at that house. Am I right?
She's literally spelling it out for me. She said, I don't care for you. Okay, which is not spelling. It's more like just a series of words. Okay, I will no longer care about you also then, baby.
So then Melissa's like, yeah, but you and Jennifer were really close, and this is me pretending I'm being nice for an episode. And Dolores is like, I can't be in a relationship like that. It's not for me. So then the next day we go to
She's
Danielle's
like the pebble tile. She is the pebble tile of Friends. Not for me.
Overpriced and out of fashion within 2 seasons. And then what? You've got a rental house where nobody wants the pebble tile.
Listen, she's like a banister on a staircase. Not for me. I want it to be for me, but apparently it's not for me. It's not there.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Decades before Anna Delvey began scamming her way into high society, Christian Karl Gerhardt's writer was infiltrating America's most elite circles with little more than a fake name and a lot of charm. Bold, ruthless, and willing to kill, Gerhardt's writer embarked on a caper across the West Coast, successfully evading the FBI for decades. Hi, I'm Sachi Cole, co-host of Wondery's podcast Scamfluencers, where we unpack the lives and schemes of some of the biggest scammers and con artists. In our recent 2-part series, 3 Weddings and a Funeral, high society's top social circles become a playground for a fraudster. Follow Scamfluencers wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
So then we go to Danielle's house, and it's the morning. It's like, dun, da 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 dun, dun, da da da. And she's sitting with her husband and her kid, Dominic. And Dominic's like, I wish I was a man, because I could speak British like nobody. And she goes, well, 1, you are a man. And 2, Go ahead, speak British. Go ahead, do it.
So he goes, Mother. She's like, ah. By the way, I am having a really hard time transitioning from Danielle Staub to this new Danielle, because every time it says Danielle, I'm always thinking Danielle Staub. I'm gonna take a moment for me to.
Well, for one thing, you are a man. For second of all, say something British. Do it. Do it.
Pay attention, British police. So then we go to Jen.
No, we have to finish him, because he goes, she says, say something in British. And he goes, mother. She goes, good. And he goes, fucker. She goes, no, all right, that's enough.
Oh, I didn't hear that
enough
part.
Of that.
I just heard mother. I was like, oh, cute.
It's like, okay, that's enough. That's enough, yo.
So then we go over to Jennifer with Olivia, and she's like, hey, little baby, you gonna go ride your bike today? And she's like, I don't want to fall. She's, well, mommy falls all the time. And risk my beautiful nose that's actually natural.
Okay, you know what, my little eagle? You're about to get your kneecaps broken. I'm telling you. Eagles are meant to fly, but they can go too far. There's a reason the eagles are going extinct. Okay, watch your mouth, ma'am.
I support Olivia's preservation of her perfect nose. I say you do it, Olivia. You don't go riding your bike. You walk. You take a nice healthy stroll instead.
I respect Olivia's just overall love of herself. I mean, I wish we all had that, She's like, my nose is perfect. Like, everything about Olivia. Olivia is a walking Meghan Trainor song. Okay? Like,
but in the best possible way.
Like, yeah, she's just always positive, So let's see. Marge and Joe are at the doctor, and Marge is like, oh my God, I've got to have this cast. Seriously? And now she's doing like her Marge hands, but she's doing them in a cast with the hand held up like this. She's like, seriously? I can't do this. How long do I have to keep this on? And he's like, 4 weeks. And she goes, no, I can't work with that. Sooner. And Benino's like, he's a doctor. He's not a fucking contractor. Okay, you can't.
Joe, I'm an amazing healer. Okay, I'm an amazing healer. Okay, let's say 1 week. 1 week and my bone will be back to good. Okay.
You know what? I'm going to need you to work with me here. What if I throw in a tote bag with a whale on it? All right? You can't use it in public, though. It's trademarked, okay? Like Vineyard Vines owns a fucking whale. You know, how do you trademark an animal that's been on this earth for billions of years? You know what I'm trademarking? Caves. Okay, there. Trademark. No one can use the cave.
What if I soak my arm in a vat of Snickers cream? Will that speed up the process? Because honestly, it makes everything else great. Why not
So
my
then
arm?
we go to Tree's Castle, which is just really... It really does look like a low-rent Mario set.
Yeah.
You know? It's just very... I was like, is that made of marshmallows? It's one of those marshmallow castles they try and convince us is a dream, but it's just because they're low budget.
I was going to say, let's be honest. Mario sets are already pretty low budget. Let's be honest. If we're really going to look at Peach's Castle, it's a bit basic.
Yeah, like how much do clouds cost? All right, get a ton of those.
What, you got like 3 turrets? Congratulations. You got a baby castle. Okay, a real castle has at least 9. Okay, Peach, try harder.
I don't know. I don't understand all the turrets. That's weird, like the little turrets. With slopes on them. I just imagine Melania, like each little girl gets her own turret. Melania just turning around in circles in one of them, just like ah.
I didn't realize turrets were really such a thing. I didn't really internalize it. They're everywhere, but I didn't really internalize it until we did a Dwell Hello episode with a guy who was obsessed with a house that looked like a castle. And then it turns out there's like actually several House Hunters episodes where people want like turrets on their house. Yeah. And that's like, it's crazy. That's crazy.
People love their turrets.
They love, if you have a turret on your house, I don't care. I'm not going to shame you. I think it's fine. But it's just funny to me that people are obsessed about turrets. But then again, I'm now officially on the record saying I'm obsessing over a Kia. So,
the Kia is your personal turret.
Yeah. And I am supposed to be getting a phone call. It might happen during this podcast. I am supposed to be getting a phone call about whether the Kia that I want has arrived. I'm like,
you are going to get in a Kia and spin around in your seat going, ah!
And then some other podcaster's going to say that Kia is like a low rent Mario Castle.
Oh, full circles. So Teresa is talking to her party planner or assistant or something. Does it say Teresa with Louis' assistant? Is that what
She's
it says?
She's talking to Louis' assistant, about the wedding. Because there's 67 days to go. Because you know that 2 days ago they were probably having Teresa's like, 69 days in the wedding. 69 days, Louis. 69 days. It's 67 days now.
I know you've been getting honest about addresses, but I got them, all right?
So,
because Teresa's doing that thing where she's like...
That's the invitation. It just opens up.
I'm surprised it didn't. I'm surprised. If it was the future, Teresa's next marriage will just be like a Star Wars hologram. You open the box and it's just a little Teresa spinning around doing her own version of...
I feel like Teresa's invitation, there's like a lot of invitations you open up and butterflies come out or something like flies out. I feel like hers is the first wedding invitation where you open the box and things go in. It's like your soul gets sucked into the box.
Your silverware just starts flying out of the fucking drawers and like flying into the box. Like, you just see a gerbil fly across the room and into the box.
Close the box. Close the invitation.
It's a soul-sucking Teresa wedding invitation box.
So, by the way, I do want to acknowledge that Teresa and Jacqueline Larita met up in Las Vegas and took a photo together and now are loving on each other on Instagram. And that's the latest. That's the new gossip.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh my God, you got your friends again? This is amazing. What's happening? What's going on? They're like, oh my God, Lucy and Ethel back together again. No, you're not. You're no Lucy and Ethel, either one of you. Okay.
Jacqueline was one of the chocolate balls that went down the conveyor belt, maybe. But like, Jacqueline Larita.
I'll give Jacqueline Ethel. I think you're like Ethel and Ethel. There ain't a Lucy among you. Okay, you're like Ethel and Ethel with like a better weave. You're like Ethel with a lesser weave and Ethel with a better weave. Okay?
I think they're like chocolate ball and grape fat.
I think that's okay.
Two Ethels don't make a Lucy in my math.
They're just objects that have entered pop culture, but just because things were done to them.
Yeah, you're no Lucy and Ethel, so cut the shit. But then Jacqueline is like, well, everybody's asking me, so finally I had to post about it. You know, this has nothing to do with our mutual disgust with Melissa. It's just that, you know, we're our own people and we've decided that we're, you know, past all of this stuff. And I'm not trying to get back on Jersey either. I live in Las Vegas now and I'm moving to Orange County, California. So suck it, haters. I was like, is Orange County, now that Orange County has taken Taylor on as like a cross-species housewife or a cross-location housewife, I think that a lot of Jacquelines are going to a lot of Ethels are going to start moving to Orange County thinking that they have a shot.
Yeah, they go to the city that is having issues on their show, and they just hope that they could come in to revive it. So,
Real Housewives of OC, the Ethel Recycle Center.
Ethel Recycle. Ethel Recycle. So Teresa is trying to just figure out these invitations, and she tells us,
so there gonna be 200 people at my wedding, and like my parties have always been like big and over the top, and like if anything, this wedding will be more extravagant than ever before.
Which is, of course, it will be because it's Teresa. Also, though, it's funny that later on she's like upset because she really wants this to be a super private wedding, and I don't know. I always think that's funny to have a super extravagant wedding, but then you're like really concerned that people will see it. You know, like I want to have a spectacle, but not everyone can see it.
They want everybody to see it. They're just doing it for Bravo, so they're trying not to get anything spoiled, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I want Circus Soleil's dancers. And
Soleil Moon fries, French fries,
Circuit Cities, Lays. People walk in and go, wow, what is this? I want it to be epic, did it?
And also, by the way, while she's FaceTiming with Louis' assistant, we see that her phone case is just like a picture of her and Louis standing together smiling.
Yeah, now I would like to congratulate whatever Instagram artist came up with these adorable phone cases, because Dolores also has one with her man. And you know that's like Me Talk Pretty one day or one of those went on there and made a beautiful phone case and sent it to all these gorgeous couples. And they're getting their work splashed all over. So whoever you are, congratulations, because as tacky as that shit is, it is really good artwork. I was like, this is so good. I want one of me and Bueller.
So kissing. You heard that, anonymous phone case maker. Make one for Ronnie and Bueller.
I want Bueller kissing my face in front of a Bentley, you know?
I'm good. I'm happy with my case. No, don't need anything.
But yeah, that is so her to have like a couple's phone case. And she's like, yeah, I want it uniques and specials. And so she goes, am I a bridezilla? And then the lady's like, no. She goes, I'm so excited. I love when Teresa tries to convince us all she's such a good person by squealing things out. I miss that Teresa. And she's back. Here she is.
Yeah. And now we go over to Melissa, and she's packing because she was asked to present at an award show in LA, aka the MTV Movie Awards or reality TV Awards, whatever they were. They could not be named.
Oh, is that what it was? I was like, when are the Ham Sandwich Awards?
The Ham Sandwich Awards. Well, that is also part of the Viacom family. So, so Melissa's saying like it's going to be awkward because she and Teresa are barely even speaking. And Melissa didn't like that Louis called her insecure, and she's like, I felt like I kept my mouth shut about Louis, and like I really welcomed him. Like every time he first came around, it was at my house. Okay, when Teresa needed to introduce him to family, she introduced him to my family first. Like, where did we go wrong?
Yeah. And Joe's like, yeah, and you know, Tree and Louie, they was awkward at the calendar shoot, you know? And this is coming from the guy who splooged his name on the wallpaper, all right?
I'm just like so shocked. I mean, you're my fucking sister. What are you doing? It hurts me more.
So Melissa's like, yeah, she keeps just like smacking him down. It's like, screw your wife, and I'm not going to have you walk me down the aisle, yada, yada, yada. So, the same stuff as usual.
Yeah, I'm done with this. I'm done with this couple. I'm finally officially done. You guys are drawing your line in the sand where it's going to be you or Teresa. They're not picking you over Teresa. So goodbye. Also, the only reason you're on here is because your husband's hot and dumb enough to be funny. And now he's not even being funny and dumb. He's just being a boring, pretend, depressed person. And nobody needs that on TV. Move along now. Move along. So then we get to Olivia, who walks into her room. I mean, her family room. And she's like, Mom, I changed.
Yeah, she has like a lipstick on or something. And Jen's like, oh, you're fabulous, baby. She's like, as always. And then it's like raining really hard. So Jen's like, oh my God, it's like a monsoon outside, baby. And then Olivia goes, where's my Bible?
And they're like, I hope it doesn't keep Danielle from coming. And Danielle's like, oh my God, can you believe it? We're still coming. I mean, we're gonna come. It's raining like fucking crazy out there, kids. Let's go. So Danielle comes with her kids for a kids meeting.
An enormous umbrella, the size of Manhattan, on a pole that she enters the house with.
And so Olivia goes, so how old are you? 7? I'm 9. He's 11. Get in line, squirt.
Yeah, there's definitely like some age ranking happening there.
Yeah.
So then Danielle's like, oh my God, your house is like stunning, okay? Like this is stunning. Oh my God, I feel like I'm in the Caesar's Palace of Paramus. It is stunning. Stunning.
Now I know I'm going to love Danielle. The first person to legitimately think this house is class, And she goes, what is this? The foyers? Whoa, stunning. Now listen, I'm not afraid of the kids breaking anything. I'm afraid of them breaking my balls wanting this house in the future. That's what's got me worried.
And I love she turns to her kids and goes, don't touch anything. Don't touch. This is a classy home. Okay? Don't touch anything.
And Jennifer's like, go do whatever you want, kids. We got a movie theater. We got a basketball court. We got a little house by the pool, the Pinker, that my husband goes to masturbate in when he's mad at me. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
We even got a fox on the block, baby. So then Jen's like, so then the kids go like downstairs to play, and then she's like, so Danielle, let me tell you something. With Dolores, when she grabbed me, I thought, okay, finally, okay, she wants to say sorry or something, and then right away she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm done being the chump for somebody who treats me like shit, baby.
Yeah. And Danielle's like, yeah, I mean, when you go to someone as a friend and then they come back combative, I got a problem with that, okay? Now, I don't know, but you got a weird dynamic with all these broads. And Jen's like, who was the nicest to you, baby? And she goes, you. I vibed with you the most. Take this the right way. You're a little crazy, all right? Like me. Tree briefed me on everybody anyway, so I already knew about them. And she's like, what'd you say about Margaret?
Well, she said that stuff went down, but it's very positive, and that broad is turning a new leaf. Because they're both like talking like they're from Greece right now.
It's so funny.
That broad. All this weird. There's a weird dynamic with all those broads here today.
Yeah.
So then they decide to FaceTime Teresa, or Teresa FaceTimes them, whatever it is. But they FaceTime Teresa to find out how Teresa's lunch with Margaret went, which happened last episode. And so Teresa's like, yeah, it went very, very well. I'm really happy, and I was raw. I was raw, like cucumber, like a raw cucumber, not a cooked cucumber. So I was like a cucumber, and she was like a carrot, and then we were like one of those trays they have at like supermarkets with a dip in the inside,
Yeah, we was raw. And Jen's like, did she apologize to you? She goes, nah, but we communicated it. It was a fresher breath of air, is what it was. And they're like, oh my God, Teresa, a fresher breath of air. It's like, yeah.
My soul's going into the phone.
So then,
Pots and pans start flying into the phone.
So the chat's about that girl, Laura.
and then Danielle's like, who's Laura? Who's that broad?
Like, Laura's Margaret's ex-best friend. They had a falling out, and then this Laura was trying to get in touch with me and Teresa just to help her out with stuff.
Oh, so she wants to lay some dirt on Margaret? Wow, on an ex-best friend?
Yeah, it was bad. I was very suspicious of the whole thing. I was very, very, very... I wanted it. I wanted the dirt. I wanted the dirt, all of it, baby.
Yeah, of course. Now, I have to say, Jen and Teresa are very smart, which, listen, I don't think I've ever said that. In all the years of recapping this show, and it's been many, I don't think I've ever said that. But I think they're very smart how they're laying this out. They could have held on to this. They could have waited to drop it, done all, which is the normal style. But this time, they're like, nope, this lady's contacting us. We met her. We're admitting it right up front. So that can't become a big storyline. And I like that. So Jen's like, I know who this woman is. She's been to multiple parties. She was very adamant that she had stuff she wanted to hear. And then I thought, if this was Margaret, would she want to hear from someone who had dirt on me and Teresa? Absolutely. I'm like, Jen, your last storyline was digging for dirt on Jackie from the Serena and Tenafly, okay? And you're immediately doing this again. So now she's just admitting it up front so it doesn't look like a big secret. Smart.
The whole issue last season that Jennifer was angry at Marge about was that not only did she bring up the affair, but like the fact that that talking to Serena from Tenafly, the point is that she got so mad at Margaret for doing this, and then they apologized, and now she's going to do Margaret apologized, and now she can do exactly what she accused Margaret of doing in the first place. I mean, it's so Jennifer.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
And so Danielle's like, oh my God, you went to lunch with her? What did she say? And they just, Teresa says, well, she basically told us everything Margaret told to her. And Jen's like, yeah, that Margaret takes the time to find out everything about all of us. She goes, yeah, well, what'd she talk about? Anybody else? Who else did she talk about? Or was it just Margaret? And then they get quiet and they just look to the side like, who's going to drop the bomb here?
Yeah, but by the way, I love how they're like, wow, Margaret takes the time to find out everything about everyone. When Danielle just said, oh yeah, Teresa made sure to tell me about every single one of you guys.
And also they're sitting down at lunch with someone to find out everything about Margaret. I mean, come on. So good.
And so now they're pretending they're doing this whole thing where they're like, we know something, but we're not going to say it because we're going to act like we're the better people. Right, but they are totally going to leak it, right? Because I think maybe Teresa has learned that the best way to start a rumor is not to walk up to people and tap them on the shoulder and be like,
you know what I heard? I heard you get blowjobs at the gym. Okay, pass it on.
That maybe she'll be more successful if she's a little more subtle about it.
Well, not so far. This is pretty clunky. But funny. So then Danielle's like, okay, you guys ain't gonna say, okay then. Okay, you ain't gonna say, I guess. And they're like, this is very serious. And so the producer's like, so do you want to know what it is, Danielle? And she's like, hell yeah, I want to know what it is. Don't you want to know what it is? You know what it is? Tell me what it is. What is it?
Tell me what these broads are talking about, huh? I don't know what's going on. We get dynamic with these broads, okay?
And Jen's like, we don't want to be as bad as Margaret would be, so we're not going to say nothing. Now, I don't think I'm going to need to tell anyone about this info unless Marge pushes my buttons. Be nice to me and it won't have to happen, baby.
Real healthy. So now we go to Rachel's house. Rachel, and there's lots of babies around, and her husband, John Fuda.
John Fuda.
John Fuda.
Yeah.
He's holding a bunch of babies in his arms. And Rachel's like, I met John when I was 22. I was his bartender. And he had just sold a pizzeria that he owned. And he used to come in every night. And he was like, go out with me. just one time, okay? And if you don't have a good time, then I'll never take you out again. And the rest is history. Now we've got 2 babies under the age of 2 and a 15-year-old stepson. I only have to say he's 15 because people ask me about the age. It's like really obnoxious. Like, it's so annoying. Like, none of your business, lady. Keep it moving, huh?
Yeah, because I guess she's so much younger than John that people
she
are
does that
like,
whole
wait
model.
a minute.
She does that monologue at like Starbucks, just so you know. Like she does it everywhere.
Well, I like it too. She's like, oh yeah, I got a stepson that old and people keep asking me my age. Keep it moving, lady, huh? So then they're giving Jaden, who's the stepson, shit about his phone because he's broken another phone. And they're like, how many phones is this one, huh? And he's like, it's my 5th one, Dad. And he goes, what's the common denominator in these phone breakages? And she's like, you're the owner. That's the common denominator. God, keep it moving, lady.
Keep it moving, okay? We figured it out, you know? Taking on the responsibility of a stepmom is a hard thing to do. It's not like, hey, here's all your responsibilities. Am I right? It's not like being a bartender at the pizzeria, okay? So that's hard. It's hard for me. So
but we instantly clicked because when I first met him, and then they show them together, and that's when it's really obvious that she's really young with this kid, you know? And he's just a little kid and stuff, but they're so cute. And she goes, yeah, when one time when we first met, we was mini golfing, and there were fake flowers, you know, along the golf course, and he ripped them out, and he made a bouquet, and he came up to me and he said, these are for you. I still got them. Still got those flowers. Is there a more Jersey story than that?
I know. So she mentions that Danielle is having a mozzarella party. And by the way, one thing I really love about this show has been all the different ways they say mozzarella, because
no one says mozzarella.
No one says mozzarella. It's either like moots, mozzarella, mozzarella.
That's Danielle says mutts, which is really funny.
They all have like different versions of this. This is why we don't get a clear ruling on Giudice versus Judice, because we can't even get something on mozzarella.
And it's so funny that she says mutts because it's the same day we're talking about Ethel Mertz. Really weird if you think about it. It's like, where's the mutts? So Rachel's like, you know what? Danielle invited the ladies to a mozzarella party. And I like Danielle. That should be fun. And the baby goes, ah! And she just turns to the baby and she goes, ah! I was like, and she goes, are we boring you? And the baby goes, yeah.
Sorry, America. Sometimes she has outbursts when I say the word mozzarella. It was her original name.
That cracked me up. She just screamed right back in the baby's face. Okay, and this is another miracle. We've got 2 full-time nooms, and I'm loving both of their family scenes. That's very rare, you know? Because usually I'm like, screw your families. I don't care about your kids.
Because they're being cartoony. You know, I think that they're so cartoony that I'm just like amused by it all, right? Like, if they're being non-cartoony, I'd be like, stupid.
But they're being cartoony in a way that I buy. Like, I believe this like 22-year-old bartender and some weird old guy came in with a pizzeria and was like, yeah, I'll give you a slice special the rest of your life. You come home with me. And she's like, all right. And then the rest is history.
The rest, yeah. When she said the rest is history, I'm like, actually, I feel like I still need to understand how you chose this person. Like, what did you guys do on your date? How did he woo you? I mean, so now we go to Marge, and Marge is in the kitchen with Lexi. She's like, okay, I gotta sort the edamame, and then Lexi goes,
you know what the worst thing that ever happened to me was? Is that I once ate from the wrong edamame bowl. I ate the shells that had been sucked out by everyone else. It was like one of the worst things I ever did in my life. And I was like, ugh.
Oh, yeah, well, you've had breast in your mouth. I wouldn't worry about that. And she goes, that's true.
Poor Lexi. I feel like Lexi gets the brunt of everything, and I'm sure someone she's like, "Could someone please pass the edamame?" And then someone's like, "Yeah, here you go."
Probably Marge did, and then she's like, "Ha look, she said the wrong edamame." What an idiot!
Look, these are low-cal edamame. They've got 90% less beans in them. Go have some.
But also edamame is such a tricky beast, you know? And I had it because I had like Chinese food night at my house where we made like a lot of Chinese food and stuff. And we had edamame, and my sister put the edamame right in the same bowl that I was using for the discard bowl, you know, like the same style bowl.
Yeah.
Said, you have to have a different colored bowl for the discard bowl. She's like, no, you don't. People aren't idiots. Sure enough, you have people over there like, God damn it. I'm like, sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad.
You know, I have to say, I think edamame is a bit overrated.
Oh, how dare you. You know what? You're really fucking with a lot of things today. First, you're like, you don't mind little tiny seeds anymore. And now you're going to diss edamame?
I am going to. I'm going to. I think edamame is fine. It's fine. But it's not, I don't know. I have a few and then I'm done. I just feel like, it's a little unremarkable. I feel like it's really just a salt vehicle. I think we're just there to put a salty thing in our mouth and get some texture. I just feel like there's better ways to do it. I don't know. I think that like if I go to a Japanese restaurant, someone goes, "Oh, should we get edamame?" I'm like, I mean, sure.
Well, good. Then
I
you
don't
can
care.
keep your fingers out of my edamame next time I get it. 'Cause how dare you? And you know, it's very disrespectful. It has mommy in the title. Don't disrespect your mother. Dare you? You just disrespected mothers everywhere. Get him, everybody!
It doesn't have mommy. It has Jennifer Aydin's version of mommy, which is mommy.
Hey, who ate my mommy?
It's like that's Jennifer Aydin asking someone to help a mother. Ate mommy. So now Jackie, Dolores, and Jennifer Fessler. Okay, because we can only say Jennifer Fessler. We can't say Jen F. It's Jennifer Fessler. Fessler. Okay, the Fessler's coming over tonight. Okay, we're going to play a game called Fun Facts. Okay, Fun Facts with the Fez. Okay, Fun Facts with Jennifer Fessler, starring Jennifer Fessler with the fun facts. Okay, we're going to do that all tonight.
And Melissa, who still cannot get a storyline outside of her sister-in-law, brings sprinkle cookies. And Marge is like, I love sprinkle cookies, my favorite. And then we see a clip of Teresa going, she brought sprinkle cookies. I threw them in the garbage. Which, by the way, I was listening to Teresa's podcast, Months, or whatever the fuck it is. And with her co-host Melissa, who's just like sucking up to her the whole time. So I was listening to this, like the first or second episode, and Teresa's like, oh yeah, you was gonna hear truths you never heard before today on this podcast, all right? Because, like, you know, everyone thinks I threw them sprinkle cookies in the trash. I didn't, all right? Because she brought them, and I said, Melissa brought sprinkle cookies, and then Joe's mother threw them in the trash, and she said they're garbage. And I was always protecting Joe's mother. So there you go. There you have it. I'm a good person.
AKA her own mother. Or Joe Giudice's mother.
Yeah, she said Joe Giudice's mother threw him in the trash. But just in case anybody's life isn't complete without that information, there you have it. Happy to report.
Listen, I love a passive-aggressive cookie, so if Melissa wants to bring sprinkle cookies around as a passive-aggressive dig, I am all for it. So then everyone's showing up. Oh my God, Jen Fessler brought the red wine. I thought I had red wine in the house. I didn't have red wine, but Jen Fessler came and she brought some red wine. Oh, look, the red wine and Jen Fessler matching. They were wearing matching sun hats. How adorable. You know what? I met Jen Fessler through a mutual ex-friend. Rhymes with Foggy. Okay? Right.
Yeah, I don't want to say a name because the roof could cave in. I mean, Joe did the roof, so it could cave in anyway. Let's face it. All right. But you know what? Dolores sees Fessler. She says, oh, you know what? I have you on my phone as Siggy Flicker's best friend. And then Margaret goes, yeah, but this one's much better because I can disagree with her and she doesn't have an emotional breakdown like some people. And I didn't check Instagram today to see the meltdown that, you know, Siggy had at being mentioned by Marge.
She's like, I am busy being a patriot, and this woman is still dragging my name through the
mud. I'm going on
Instagram. More like January. I am sick of this woman.
Yeah. Non-patriot. I won't even say a name. Let's just call it the non-patriots.
Did she really say that, though?
Is not the customer service.
I believe that she would.
If you have a problem with my content that you do not pay for.
No.
That did not sound like Siggy Flicker.
She's doing one of those lip sync things to somebody else's audio. And then the next picture is this. It's Siggy with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. And she's got sunglasses on, and it says, "Had my eyes done, and so much more. So what? Wasn't going to keep me away from seeing my president and commander-in-chief, the GOAT, who was hired by we the people to get the job done and drain the corrupt swamp. He doesn't have to watch his words. He wasn't hired to be your friend. He's honest. He's authentic. He loves this country, and he and his family have taken so many slings and arrows to save America. Loyalty, my friends. America is crashing from within, and the only one person that can save it, and his name is Donald John Trump. He can't be bought. He doesn't need the lobbyists. He doesn't need to kiss ass to any special interest groups. He doesn't need anyone's money, which is why the establishment is against him. They can't control him. All the others, the rhinos who said they would never run against him, are liars, and they sold their soul to the establishment because money and power mean more to them than we the people. And for the last 20% of you that still have your head stuck in the sand, it's time to say, ... sorry, you were wrong. Life's about choices. You can either save this country for the future generations of Americans who deserve to grow up in the land of the free because of the brave, or you can continue to destroy it from within, and when you leave this world, your children and grandchildren will never know what freedom is. Thank you, Alina Habba, for all you do to protect DJT from the corrupt slime out there. Hashtag Jexit, hashtag MAGA, hashtag Trump, hashtag loyalty, hashtag Trump was right, hashtag Marge is still a bitch. Oh, and by the way, because I don't have a filter and love to share, here's my doctor's info at Dr. E. Gregory Albert. He's located in Boca.
I'm sure the doctor's like, thanks for that hearty preamble before the recommendation. He's like, yeah, I'll take off $500 if just give me a shout out on Instagram. She's like, MAGA, 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 he won the election. Patriots unite. Also go see this plastic surgeon. He's like,
I mean, that is just fucking gold. Fucking Siggy,
oh my
man.
Goodness. Thank you,
can
Ronnie.
check in on Siggy at any moment in time and you will get a good laugh. Good God.
That was the most palatable version I've ever heard of MAGA propaganda. Thank you. That was hilarious and amazing. And by the way, I think Trump's biggest failing in office was that he never hired Siggy Flicker to be his press officer. Because, like, how amazing would that have been? The press, like, it's like, you want to ask me that question about a wonderful man? How could you do that? You know, my son Joshua, he works in this White House. He works here, and he's a very good man. And you think you want me to say something bad about the man who employs my Joshua?
Oh my God. You get out! Get out! Could just imagine her running that press room. I would.
You want to know about the economy? How about you ask me about Michael Campanella? What do you ask about me?
They'll be like, what do you think about the situation of the Ukraine, Siggy? Here's what I think about the Ukraine. A woman was put on this earth to serve a man lasagna when he wants it.
So anyway,
wow, Siggy, Jesus Christ,
that was great. Siggy, one of my greatest housewives. I loved Siggy. I loved her. One of my greatest disappointments.
Yeah.
So anyway, So now they're playing this game. It's another game for Bravo, and they have to answer questions or whatever. So Margaret's like, okay, the only sex act that makes me feel a little guilty is fill in the blank. And Jen Fetzler's like, I'm Jewish. Every sex act makes me feel guilty. She's like,
was that for Joan? Was that for Joan? Joan, I hope you heard that. That was Fessler. I'm not taking credit for that, Joan. Good one. Good one, Fessler.
She's like, that was for Judy Tenuta. Okay, well, mine are for Joan. Yours are for Judy Tenuta. Fine. I'm down with that.
So Jen goes, oh my God, this one is hard as shit. Sex while driving and truck drivers see it. And they're like, Dolores, is that you? Because that's like a new love thing. And she's like, hell no, that's not me. And then they guess Jackie, who's also there. I don't know if we mentioned that. But Jackie's like, oh, I'm in this conversation now? Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks. So I'm being included in this conversation? Thanks, ladies. Thanks.
Margaret's like, it was me. Okay, you know, I'm like, Joe, I'm not going to give you a blowjob while you're driving your car. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, it goes against the bylaws of AAA. Okay, Joe.
Yeah, but you know what? He always wants a blowjob, and he wants it when the truck drivers can see. What the hell? What the hell's going on over there? So then Melissa, Jen reads another answer, and she goes, I don't know why this person would feel guilty about this when I lick his balls. Who cares? And Melissa's like, oh, yeah! She tries to do Teresa's squeal. And she goes, I hate you guys. This game is like so hard.
Yeah. Jen Fesser's like, why would you feel guilty about licking his balls? You're doing a service. Am I right?
So she's like, so how was LA with Teresa? And Melissa goes, I felt sad for Joe, but for me, I'm like, you don't want to fake it anymore? Good. Me neither. I don't want to fake it either. I'm good on you. And Marge's like, well, I thought I saw a different side of her, but her actions have to back it up. And that's what I have to say about that. And Jackie says that Jen is way more dangerous than Teresa. And Dolores is like, listen, to accuse me of not being a good friend, can anybody here say I was a bad friend to anybody? I don't deserve this. That's it. You know what? I said it in the living room. When I walked into the dining room, I said the same thing. I walked into the kitchen and said it. And then you know what I did? I walked from the kitchen back into the living room. Same opinion. The entire triangle. There, I'm done.
And Margaret's like, I just feel so weird with her because I made up with her genuinely. Remember? Here, let's show the footage of me fixing her bangs to show my complete apology. And they show that of them standing outside the coffee shop last year where Margaret's like futzing with her bangs. Like, listen, I'm sorry. I feel devastated about this. Can't you see I'm fixing your bangs? There's no greater sign of an apology than me fixing your bangs on the streets of Tenafly.
I thought that was kind of a real one, too. Remember when they went to coffee and Marge pulled out her own Snickers creamer from her purse?
Yeah. That was real.
It's like, listen, I never meant to ruin your life, because I know what it's like, and I never meant to hurt you, Jen. And Jen's like, okay, baby, thank you. And Jen was wearing her, depression scrunchie.
Yes, yes.
Her. So I believed it, too. But you know what? Some things are not just forgiven like that. That was a big thing. So Marge is like, well, I had a child. So here's what happened, okay? I think everyone's okay. And then I find out that Jen and Teresa met with an ex-friend of mine digging for info about me. Can you believe that? I had this childhood friend, and she decided it was time to turn against me. So they, of course, went to lunch with her, tell us everything about Marge. Tell us everything. Okay, Marge, now that's one version of the story, but I want to hear the full one. No one just decides it's time to turn against you. What's the story there? I want to know.
I would like to know. So Margaret says, and I found out because there's a mole in Jennifer's camp, but they let me know. Okay. So Dolores is like, how could you be so fucking petty? But it shows Jennifer's true colors. She's an inauthentic bitch. There, I said it.
So Melissa's like, we just don't know how much we can trust her, and that's the truth. So then we go to Dolores and Paul's house, which is very pretty, I think.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice house.
And she's like, Paul, I only have one complaint with you. It's too hot in here. And he's like, it's 70 degrees. She's like, it's 75. All right, Paul, I can't live like this. No.
They've ordered filet mignon and sushi for dinner. I guess from the same restaurant. Sort of interesting.
I like that he's like, I got you your favorite. Filet mignon and sushi. She's like, oh, God, Paul.
Oh, I decided since I got you some sushi, I raised the temperature to 75 degrees in here because sushi is good in warm air.
So Dolores is, she also has the picture of Paul on there. And she has a picture of Paul as her desktop, one of his
her screensaver
shots.
thing. Yeah, her desktop, yeah.
So she's like, this is the first time ever that I'm dropping my guard 100%. And now look at me. I'm like a tool bag. I'm so corny. It's like, ugh. Because one time I tried to drop my guard. I was like, I'm just going to walk down the stairs and walk without a guard. And I fell off because there was no railing because Frank didn't put one there. So now I always have my guard up. But now it's down again.
The first time I dropped my guard, I didn't even drop it. It's just Frank didn't install it. Okay. Learned my lesson there.
The first time I dropped my guard, David rode his motorcycle right across it and into the living room. So now the guard's always up.
I mean, look, Paul, do you like me around the house? Because, at first I didn't want to touch anything because it's your things. But now I do have to touch things because you know what? One of your things is the thermostat. This body is complete. It's 97% filler now. What do you want me just to melt out of my toe? That's what's going to happen if you keep me like this, Paul. All right?
Paul, I just touched your coffee table. Is that okay? So he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, it's fine. You just you're walking around in my underwear. And so she's like, well, I feel very welcomed. Hey, question, Paul. Do you want more of a social life? Because we spend a lot of time alone, and I like it that way. So that was my way of saying, here's a question, and I already answered it for you. The answer is no.
He's like, well, I'd like to be more social. The other night was fun. I have to admit, it was fun. And she's like, I don't know what to do with this girl, Paul. Okay, this girl, Jennifer. And he's like, you move on from her. Because if she can't move on, you've got to move on. 'Tis her loss. But at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. God, you're going to fit in great here. Fucking love you, Paul. And that's all you can say for the life of the poor. But you're a good friend, Yar. You're a good friend, Dolores.
Well, before we got there, Paul said this to me: "Be the bigger person." Had I not heard that very unique and original and sage piece of advice before we walked into that party, things might have gone a little differently. And they show the clip of her yelling at Danielle's top, "Welcome back, scumbag!" I like that she's acting like Paul, like reached down to the depths of his wisdom and experience of years and pulled out this piece of advice.
It's like she's never heard "be the bigger person" before, you know?
Be the bigger person. Whoa.
You know what? One time we were sitting in traffic and I was, yelling, "Fuck you, scumbag!" Some guy who ran a red. And Paul looked at me right in the eye and he said, "Be the bigger person." I came right in my seat.
And then later on in that traffic, we hit a red light. And Paul said, "Whoa, stop." And I'll tell you one thing. If he had not said that, I would have kept on driving. I'd learned a lot from him.
So, by the way, Paul is very handsome, but I have to point this out.
I know.
Have you noticed?
There are two things I think. I think there'll be two things that you're going to say. One of two things. Okay, wait.
It's
can I write
cute.
it down? Where can I write it down? I don't know. Wait. Oh, I have. Okay, please tell me I have a marker here. I'm going to write it down. I have something here. Okay, I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
Prediction. Okay.
Yeah, because normally I try and be mature and not say this, and I was. I mean, I feel like I made it a long way through the scene without saying anything because I saw it and I was like, Ronnie, that's not necessary. And then I saw it again and I was like, it's still not necessary. But I have to say it at this point. So are you going to be in a new version of Annie where Daddy Warbucks isn't bald, but you still wear a skin cap? Because he looks like he has this line that goes right across his forehead and it crinkles up like, oh God, my forehead doesn't move anymore because I've been getting Botox, but like it crinkles up all the way in a circle and it looks like he's wearing the Daddy Warbucks skin cap, but it has hair on it. Okay, what did you think I was gonna say?
We're playing the Newly Dread game, here we go. My answer was, I don't know if you can see it because the pendant it said shirt or forehead. I said you were going to either talk about his shirt or his forehead, because he's really holding on to the schmedium lifestyle, which I get. We've all been there. Yeah. And I was like, it's either going to be that or the line across his forehead. I was like,
it's just so unique. It's so unique. It looks like he's wearing a skin cap. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But look, as a bald guy, you go with what you have. No, it's his shirt and his body. I mean, the guy's hot. I think the guy's sexy. I can see the sex appeal.
Can we play this game more often? I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed writing something down and then presenting, like, what's Ronnie going to say here, and then presenting it. That was a Crap is on Demand exclusive right there.
That was funny. Okay, so yeah, he wants to go see more people because, he had fun with their friends. And she's like, well, listen, I'm glad you had fun with the guys. They're much different than women because women. And, it's probably better for you, too, that Frank wasn't there. But, Frank was sick. And then, Frank had to do God knows what Frank's got going on with Maz. You know what I mean? And Paul's like, yeah. Well, I think that he's more comfortable around me than I am with him because he was fine at Christmas, but I don't think he's used to you having a guy who wants to do things for you.
You know what? Frank doesn't deal well with change, So, for instance, he used to be able to walk normally, and then someone knocked in his kneecap / he fell down the stairs. And he didn't do well with that. He has a very hard time with it.
You know, he doesn't like change. We once had a couch in the living room, and I accidentally moved the couch back a foot just because I wanted more room to put my feet up on the coffee table. Frank saw it, and he broke the couch. He literally picked the couch up, threw it against the wall, and then started breaking it apart piece by piece.
He doesn't do well with it, okay? But you know what, though? I have someone in my life that I want to establish a relationship with, separate from Frank, and it's not a chinchilla this time. So he's just going to have to deal.
So she's like, you know, Frank has always been the man in my life. And so, like, even when we're not together or I have somewhere I need to take a man, Frank has filled that role. But guess what? Frank doesn't have to fill that role anymore because I got a man here. And guess what the man's going to do? He's going to fill the role. All right. And so Paul's like, yeah, he doesn't need to do that anymore. I gotcha now. And that's all. And she's like, all right, I'll make out with you. Come on, get over here and kiss me, because that is a man. That right there is a man.
You are the Nicole Kidman and I am the Tom Cruise, and we're going to go right across America and get our own land. Now play the Book of Days, please.
So you're the diner. I'm the drive-in. Frank is the dive. We only need 2 D's in this household.
So now we go to Jen's house. The doorbell rings. There's something delivered, and we just watch her hobbling down the stairs. And then it turns out that this is a montage of everyone receiving Teresa's invitations. We see everyone getting this box at their door, but while they're getting the box, we're still watching Jennifer walk very slowly down her stairs.
It just keeps cutting back to Jen hobbling down the stairs. So funny. So Jen Fessler's the first one to open. She's like, Fessler! Hello? That's just a box on the ground. So we see everybody. So we see everybody bring this box in. And it's like a box of flowers, roses. And then on top is this glass invitation that says, like, come to the wedding of United of Louie and Tree. I love family, brother. My dad, my mom. I got daughters. The end.
Daughters. So then Melissa and Joe get an invitation, and they're talking about, they've already gone to the MTV Awards. They've come back, and they're talking about it. And Joe's like, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, look, we were sitting at the same table, okay? 2 kids from Patterson, okay? We grew up in the hood. You know, we had a shoemaker as a dad. We were separated for many years. I was working in a sweatshop. She was singing songs into a window to the moon. And then we finally found each other, okay? We went through all of that. And then we went to the West, okay?
I love that Nono was a shoemaker. Because
I didn't realize that.
That seems like a job that a person with anger management issues should not have, because shoes go flying. That's like the first thing that happens when you get angry, you know? You know that Nono clocked a bunch of people in the head with a shoe back in his day. But yeah, I love Joe's story too. Look at us, 2 kids from Patterson. Our dad was a Geppetto, you know? A little Pinocchio sitting at a table, finally here in L.A., the biggest town ever, and we can't even enjoy it together.
How is it that Joe Gorga's childhood took place in 1907? I don't understand it. Here we was. Lady Liberty looking down at us. My dad making shoes in the tenements in the Lower East Side.
Right, he just watched The Godfather. You know, he's like, and there I was on a boat after my entire family got murdered, huh? Coming to America.
There I was watching Diane Keaton as I closed the door on her face.
So he's like, you know what? Our parents are right now. They're looking down on us, and you know what they feel? I said the same thing while they were alive. Disappointment. And he's like, disappointment. I was like, ding ding. What do I win?
You know, I'm her only brother, and you're my wife. Okay, and she didn't even ask you to be in the wedding. And then Louis came into the picture. He's supposed to be a Zen guy, and he just has the fire. And it's like she met him, and then she went apeshit again. Which, by the way, I actually agree with. Sorry, I agree with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, she was nice to them when she was not with Joe, right? Like when Joe was in prison and it was just her and they were helping out and stuff. That's the only time they got along.
Yeah, when she really didn't have any guy. She didn't have a man in her life. And then once she had a man in her life, she could go back to basically treating them like shit. Let's not act like Teresa doesn't treat them like shit. Like Melissa may drive you nuts. Joe may drive you nuts. But the truth is, Teresa treats them like shit.
I think they all treat each other like shit. I think this is a very toxic group of people. You know, this
Yes,
Joe and Melissa, this sweet act. I mean, I think all these rumors that have been spreading for years about them, like the Fame Horga's blog, remember all that? Like we go into it every season, but all the accusations of the parents paying off their house and then Joe putting their house up supposedly illegally with the help of Frank. By the way, this is all just rumors. But and then taking a loan out on the house, then defaulting on the mortgage and their house gets taken away, then they have to move in with, you know, Teresa and all this stuff. I think all this stuff that has not been brought up on the show is going to be brought up this year because Joe and Melissa keep acting like, oh, we're always helping, we're doing this, we're doing that. Well, if even 10% of the shit that has been said about them online is true, they're just terrible human beings. So it'll be interesting to see if that's brought up because it's been a decade of these rumors swirling, and I hope it comes up this year.
But yeah, it's going to be a war of atrophy. You know, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
So,
yay!
yeah.
Toxicity. Delicious.
So either way, long story, TLDR, their relationship has gone backwards. I don't know why they needed to state that. It was pretty obvious. So now it's time for,
Hey, it's time for Danielle's moots party. It's time for some moots. We're going to have some moots, making moots memories, okay? So here comes Giacomo, the hot mozzarella maker, the moots maker. He makes the mozzarella. He makes the moots and the mozzarella. It's Giacomo, okay? He comes over and he's going to, and Danielle says, hey, you know what? This broad here, she used to work in event planning, okay? You know, I like to go over the top. I like going over the top and making it special and fun. Like the time I had a birthday party for my daughter who was turning 4. We all wore tie-dye together. That's called over the top. The top, okay?
Yeah, I got bougie kids. I want to lighten the mood. So this group, I just can't, all right? Like, who can fight at a mozzarella party, huh? Who can fight making cheese?
by the way, I think at some point, if you're on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, you can just stop saying, I want this party to be over the top, because I think we just have to accept that in New Jersey, over the top is the norm, right? They keep saying, like, I want to do a party, but I want to do it over the top. I was like, when have we seen someone on this show say, I want to do a party, but I want it to be understated and classy? Right. It's always over the top. Just, you don't have to
But
say
it's
it anymore.
not really ever over the top. It's like, okay, so you're having a party in your backyard where you make mozzarella? Like, where's the elephant? You know what I mean? Where's the showgirls?
It was like a metal bowl. It was like a metal bowl and aprons. But remember, she's not in the Caesar Palace of Paramus, so she's got, this is over the top for her.
And she goes,
Yeah, I'm not going to like this. Like, I'm not saying my house is nice, but if someone says my house is cute, like small, I'm going to have a problem with that.
And so Dolores is the first one to come over, and she goes, oh my God, I love it here. How cute. And she's like,
Oh, God, it's going to be a long day.
I have to say, Danielle, I'm already very happy you've taken Jackie's place, because if it was Jackie still doing it on this cast, doing this party, we'd be doing it in her driveway. So thank you, Danielle. Thank you for having us.
So Dolores, there's like 10 guys there to make mozzarella. And so Dolores sees them. She's like, hey, guys. Oh, wow, fresh mozzarella. I'm home. Show me around. Love your pool. I just got a pool. I want a coconut mojito. Who's coming?
Yeah. So then Dolores is all walking around. And then both Jennifers show up. Or both Jennifers are coming, I should say. Not that they show up, but Danielle says both Jennifers are coming, and Dolores goes, "Oh, that's very nice." She's like, "Well, can we keep the peace between these broads? What do you think?" She goes, "Oh, I always start off clean with everybody. I'm always started off clean, and then it's up to them."
I'm like a doctor. I start with clean tools. They end up bloody. Whose fault is it? What, are you going to sue the doctor? He's just trying to fix things.
Yeah. Okay, it's not my fault that they're scumbags. Okay.
Yeah. And Danielle's like,
We're making mozzarella. What's the worst that could happen, huh?
And so then Melissa comes. Melissa's in the car with Marge. And so she's like, are you going to talk? Are you going to talk to Jen? And she's like, here's the thing. We made up. Then she goes and says she has this meeting about me. I don't care if she said I killed the Queen of England. I don't care if she said I'm fucking goats in the backyard so truckers can see. You know what? It's not the point. The point is you're undermining a friendship that we started. Is it a friendship? Is it not a friendship? You know, did I waste the Snickers cream or did I not waste the Snickers cream? And that's what I want to know.
Yeah, so, I just want to move forward with her. Okay, I mean, how many bangs do I have to brush out of her forehead? Okay, so like, are we even friends? Like, how are we friends? How do I even know anymore? So we go back to Danielle's house, and Teresa comes over, and Danielle's like, "Oh my God, Teresa, guess what? I can't wait to show you this. I did something so fun with your invitation. Look, I put it outside. Isn't that fun? I put your invitation outside. Have you ever seen an invitation outside and not inside? It's so fun, so over the top. I'm so extravagant with my parties right now. I'm a little taken with myself. I'm not going to lie."
And Dolores is like, I love it. She recycles your invitation. What? What did they do to the invitation? We didn't see, right?
We never got to see it because the invitation is nullified. It's a nullified invitation, so it's not even worthy of being on camera anymore. Because Teresa goes, "All of a sudden, I get a phone call, and it's like your invitation is out on social media because Ramona put it out there." And then we get to Ramona going, "Whoa, I just got the most exotic invitation.
So exotic.
So beautiful. It was presented." I was like, "Whoa, wow, it was like an ageless invitation." Okay.
You know what? It was presented on top of a gift, which is the craziest way to present an invitation. That's all I gotta say about it. It was the classiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was like the time that I presented my love on top of a gift, which was me to Muriel. Okay, what a gift it was to give me to you. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, but he threw it out in the trash, okay? Because he decided it was more important to ruin the family so he could sleep with the nanny than it was to be a loving husband, okay? I'm sorry. Stay classy.
So then now we gotta get email addresses for people, because that's like what people get the mail, but it's like with ease. And then we gotta send it that way, because it's gonna be unique. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be circuits and lays. So that's what. Thanks, Ramonas.
So then Fessler comes, and Rachel comes, and like Fessler's in orange flowers, and Rachel's in crop top blue flowers.
Yeah, Fessler, they both are kind of dressed like they're in like a softcore porno on like Skinamax, right? And I'm not saying like oh they look like slutty porn stars. It's more like I feel like in those movies
where it's like the mom next door.
They're always wearing strange sundresses that are like short sundresses that you feel like people don't actually wear, but they are like specifically chosen because I don't know. It's always like a weird wardrobe in those movies and like the non-sex scenes.
Yeah, I feel like they're just very like moms from the 50s because Jersey really likes to pound that like ladies from the 50s. That's our style. Like they're just there for the men. Sometimes they get the mutts, the men in the mutts. So they come in, they're hugging, and Jen's like, attaboy. She's like, oh, what, you're the bartender? Attaboy, let me cheers you. I'm Jen. I like to drink. I'm real big, all right? Got some scenery for me to chew on while I drink this big boy, huh? Hand it over, you sexy motherfucker. I won't take no for an answer.
Now, I just want to put it out there. If anyone has anything I can stuff into my face later during the scene, I would like that. I do a lot of mouth work, okay? Not sexual mouth work, just actual chomping. You ever see Super Mario Brothers, those things on the chains that chomp at things? That's me, okay? So if you find anything, I'm thinking cheese, we're at a cheese party, just send it my way. Okay, thanks very much. Fessler out.
And Teresa's like,
I'll have my normal tequila and pineapple. It makes my JJ taste good.
So then so then they start talking about Jen, right? And Rachel asks if Dolores has seen Jen since the last party. And Dolores goes, no. And you know what? It wasn't the right place to talk about it, because you know when's the right time to talk about it? When emotions aren't high. Because when emotions are high and you talk about things, you shouldn't talk about things, because that's what happens. You see what happened to Jen? She was probably abusing Bill in the bushes. That's what happens. He didn't deserve that. He did not deserve that. And Fessler goes, yeah, that was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was Cocoa.
You know what? You know how I know that you got to cool down before you talk to someone? It's because before I came over here, okay, Paul said to me, hey, chill out. Now I know. You got to be calm.
What a man.
Just another nugget. Just another nugget of knowledge.
God,
what
he's a man. You know.
So
Teresa goes,
Here's the thing, though, because, like, that party, that was, like, for charities. And, like, Jen came, so she wanted you to acknowledge that. You know why?
And Dolores is like, if she wants me to kiss her ass because she showed up to something I included her in when I didn't have to, no, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to flip the script on me like that. And Fessler's like, actually, I agree with that. Teresa, do you think that she did anything wrong at all? Like, do you think she did anything at all? Someone's vagina smells amazing. Whose is that?
It's pineapple.
I'm not here to take sides. I'm close with both of them, but I'm on one person's side, okay?
So Dolores goes, has anyone asked me how my fucking feelings are, okay? Stop sticking up for this cut fitness. And then it's like, dun, 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 dun.
And we see Jen arriving outside. And Teresa's like,
I'm saying, you guys just need to sit down with the two of yous.
And Dolores is like, here's the thing, Teresa. I don't want to hear what she has to say anymore, all right? Because if I hear one more word out of her mouth, I'm going to smash her fucking face in. Do you understand? She's like,
oh, all right.
So Jen walks in being like,
sorry, I'm late. I tried to cover the boot with some pants and try to make it look real sexy, but I couldn't quite do it, babies. Hi, everyone. Hi.
So then there's like a lot of tension. And Jen Fessler's like, you know what? My thighs are sweating. Can someone give me a napkin, please? My thighs are sweating. I'm sweating with these thighs. Okay, you ever have sweaty thighs? I got them right now. Okay, I don't want to get my sweaty thighs into the mutts.
So, Teresa, you and Melissa, you okay now?
And she's like, well, I was in California with her, and I had a great time with her. You know, my brother, I think he's still mad about New York, but I said sorry. You know, and I've been in therapies. You know, and the Italian in me, like, I can't even believe that I'm in therapies.
And Fessler's like, Italians have that much of a stigma against therapy? Listen, all Jews go to therapy. All Jews go to therapy.
Hold on, let me circle back. Stigma. You're still processing that word, Teresa, aren't you? Uh-huh. Okay, no, it's not a stick. You can put the stick down. No, I'm not telling you to throw a stick at your ma. Stigma. Different word. Okay, you know what? I'll never say that word again around Teresa.
Amen. Wait, what is that, Jewish? Heimlich. I don't know, give me some Jew words. Bagel. Give me some Jewish words there.
So then Margaret and Jennifer arrive. So Margaret has her cast. So she's doing like the Salt Bay thing without the salt. You know, she just has her hand up. She's like, okay, I'm in a cast. I'm ready. Okay, there's going to be some salt coming, but I can't do it just yet because my hand's broken. Okay. Hi, everyone.
I think she's doing like a love sign or like a...
I'm making a little jackal. I'm making a little jackal with my hand. Look, my hand's a giraffe now. Look at my little hand giraffe. Okay. Saying hello.
You know, Joe has to watch my dirty parts and also hold up a flashlight behind my hand so we can do plays on the wall. It's very fun.
Turns out shadow puppetry is very fun when you've got highly patterned walls, okay?
So Jen, one of the Jens, I guess Fessler, she's like, "Sup, Danielle, are we waiting for Jackie or what?" And Danielle's like,
nah. You know how you feel like it's like when you try to get to know someone and then they just give you the eyes?
And at first I was like, that's not cool. You know, like to immediately come on the show and start excluding people is like really shitty, I think.
Yeah.
That's a shitty move. But then we do see the clips and Jackie is doing exactly what she tells her. They show clips and Danielle's like, "Oh, hey, how's everything going?" And Jackie's like, "Uh-huh. Fine."
It's funny because last week I noticed that moment between Jackie and Danielle when Jackie walked in the house and she sort of like looked at Danielle. They sort of let that moment linger, and I was like, wonder what that's all about. And it was really just to set this up. So yeah, Jackie definitely giving a stink eye to Danielle. So she's
multiple times, like she just shows her just like looking her up and down multiple times. Oh my gosh.
So then Jennifer's like, but you know what? She's a snob, baby. Well, you know what? All of us can be a little bit uppity, okay? All of us are a little uppity right now. And then Rachel's like, yeah, well, she was rude to me at your house, you know? And then Jennifer goes, oh, she was rude to you? Is that why maybe you kind of snapped at me?
Fucking Jennifer, I swear. And so Rachel goes, did I snap at you or did you snap at me? Because I'm not sure how that went. And she goes, we see the clip of her saying, well, to be fair, you were married to someone who cheated, and then you're saying that she cheated. You're mad at her about that. So, and Jen being like, wait a minute, baby. Like Jen getting all offended. Yeah. So she's like, well, we were just talking. They were like, wait, what were you talking about? Which automatically puts Jen in trouble, right? Because she was basically saying Marge is a damn slut for cheating on her husband. So she's like, we were just talking about, last year. And at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. I was just very hurt, it's hurtful.
She says, I was just, maybe what I was snapping at was because he's mentioned hypocritical and that's like a trigger for me. And then Margaret's like, okay, you know what, Jennifer, you don't have to be hung up on the word hypocritical, okay? All right, let's stop going backwards, all right? Stop going backwards. She's, but I'm just saying the facts, mister. She's like, okay, you know what, this is ridiculous. I thought everything was okay. Okay, I fixed her bangs and antenna fly, all right? You accepted my apology. You apologized to me. So what did you make up with me for? Just to look good for everyone else? Fuck you.
So Danielle's like,
all right, everybody, thanks for coming. Leave your BS at the door and let's make some mutts, all right? Because it's all about the mutts, mutts.
So they're all putting on gloves, and there's this big, beefy, hot, younger guy that's like in charge of teaching the ladies, because he's so sexy.
He's really
hot. He is really cute. And he's like, hey, ladies, you gotta protect the mannequins. That's first, because you ladies, right? And they're like, yeah, we're just ladies.
And Melissa's like, look at us. Just look at all these Italian girls and Turkish girls and Jewish girls. And Jen Fester goes, you know what? My husband's half Italian, actually. And then Rachel goes, same as me. I'm a pizza bagel. Half Italian, half pizza bagel! Okay, Jennifer. Okay, we got it, Jennifer.
Yeah, so now we've got Fezla and Rachel are both pizza bagels as well.
Yeah, a lot of pizza bagels happening.
Yeah, so Jen's like, oh yeah, pizza bagels? You got a fox on your block, huh?
So, and then Jen, Fezler, and Rachel hug over pizza bagel bombing. And then so we have this class, and they're like all getting horned up because the guy leading it is hot, and there's like all this gooey cheese and everything. And Rachel tells us, I never realized how making mozzarella is a sexual thing. I'm like, well, if you want to have it become a less sexual thing, might I suggest rewinding to watching Lauren Manzo and her husband make mozzarella together in the kitchen, and that will sap out.
Yeah, they really took all the sex appeal out of that for sure. And so he's like taking it out of the water and stretching it, and there's porn music playing, and Fez is like, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking horny, so hot. And Danielle's saying,
there's nothing sexier than Italian man being sexy, Italian and Italian, like Italians do an Italian.
And Dolores goes, oh, it's a bunch of sick fucks right now getting turned on by cheese. What the hell?
What, you fucking deviants? It's cheese, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you'll never be able to walk by a polio string cheese ever again without jerking off in the middle of the supermarket.
And then Fez's like, hold that cheese up, hold that up. I can't help it. God, my mouth was horny. I just did it. My mouth just came. Am
I a real housewife yet? So
Marge goes up to Jen number one. She's like, listen, we got to chat eventually, okay? And I figured we might as well do it. I've got little bunny foo-foo for a fucking hand. So come over here, all right? Now listen, Jen, you know what? I feel like last year when we made up, I moved your bangs a little bit so you could see a little bit better. And I felt like that was real. Did you feel like it was real? She's like, yeah, it was real. It's real, baby. Well, then why did it all unravel? Because right now I feel like it's unraveling. All right.
Yeah, it's like you met my girlfriend. Why? She goes, well, that girl was trying to get in touch with me, baby. And I was like, let me hear what this woman has to say because I'm curious. That's all. I'm curious. Which was her defense last year when it was like, it was brought up that she was digging around asking about the rumors about Evan. And Jen was like, listen, I'm sorry, but I was just curious. Can't that girl be curious? I just listened in. I just was like, I want to know because I'm curious. Can someone be curious? Please help me, Eddie.
And so she's like, yeah, that girl was trying to get in touch, and I'm curious. And Marge goes, but you could understand how I feel when I say that, it hurt me that you did that. She goes, but I'm not bringing anything she said to the table. I mean, you understand why things don't seem genuine, right?
Yeah, and she was like, I really feel like I'm the most honest person here because I own up to everything you call me out on. She goes, Jennifer, please, be a little self-reflective. Like, you don't get to choose if I'm self-reflective or not.
Well, all you have to say is I made a mistake. That's all you have to say. But I didn't make a mistake, and I got perfect eyebrows. You know how I know? Because I self-reflect. That's how I know.
Okay, you know what? That's a twisted way of thinking. You're twisting. You are like a pretzel brain because you're all twisted inside the way you think, okay?
Oh, yeah, what's wrong with pretzels for brains? So I got a twisted brain, and that's what I think, and that's how I think. So what's wrong with that?
So wrong that a pretzel can look at itself in the mirror and reflect back on itself? What's wrong with that?
Okay, you know what? Now you're not only twisting your thinking, you're twisting what I'm saying into really weird places.
Oh, I'm going to weird places? Wow, what's a weird place for you? Am I going to anger or what? Is that weird for you? What's wrong with that? It literally has what in its name, huh, baby?
I'm allowed to go to weird places. Not Scary Farm. That was pretty weird, but fun. It was fun, baby.
I went to Meow Wolf in Santa Fe. Pretty weird. Black lights, strange mirrors. I can go to a weird place if I want to, baby.
I'm going to die on this show. So, then they're fighting, and Jen's way of fighting is just hilarious. She's like a little kid, and everything Marge says, Jen makes herself a victim. Like, and now you're saying I'm a weirdo, right? So she goes, so wait, are you saying that you don't want to be friends? And Jen goes, listen, friends is a spectrum, okay? How can I be friends with someone who says I'm not self-reflectant? I just saw myself say that. And Melissa comes over and she goes, guys, your pitch is a little high. And Marge goes, you know what? I can't have a conversation with that. Listen, Jennifer, you've got marijuana paranoia. She goes, marijuana paranoia? This ain't marijuana paranoia.
Yes, you're paranoid. Okay, so then Jennifer starts pleading her case to Melissa.
Okay, you know, I need to stop reflect about this because it's not marijuana paranoia. Okay, I mean, what do you think I'm doing? Walking around getting stoned all day, baby? Hello? I got a family to take care of, and I'm not going to sit there high in the corner like some crackhead bitch.
I'm like, well, you're mixing crack with marijuana, and actually some would say that maybe the weed would make it easier to take care of your I don't know. You do you.
So Marge is telling the ladies now. They're all like sitting with their feet in the pool. And Marge is like, she needs deep therapy. That's what she needs. And Jen goes, what is she saying? Margaret, you don't get to tell me what's a normal way to be. What is normal anyway? You ain't the judge.
Yeah.
I don't know who died and put you in charge of what's the normal way.
Jennifer is saying, I don't know who died and put you in charge of what's the normal way to act and who should go to therapy and who should self-reflect, etc. She goes,
who needs Karens when you got Margarets?
So Margaret's like, okay, you know what? Don't tell me. I can't explain to them what happened. Okay, just don't tell me. Don't tell. Oh, I'm sorry. Margaret says, don't tell me I'm not allowed. They're on a don't tell me fight, right? Don't tell me I'm not allowed to tell them what happened.
Yeah, and she goes, you do you, hon. She goes, I choose who I am. She goes, then choose to get help because you have issues with Dolores. You have issues with everybody. Okay? She goes, I don't have issues with Dolores. Dolores has issues with me. And Dolores goes, what does Dolores have? What? Go ahead then. Go ahead, Jen. And she goes, oh yeah? You don't even care about me, Dolores. So Dolores who? I don't care. And then Dolores gets up from the pool and swings around, right?
She's like, her ankles are still in the pool, but she swings around. So she's like, it's menacing. It's like she rose from the water. And she's
literally everybody goes, uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, Dolores.
Here's the thing, Jennifer. If you have a problem, come to me. You just badmouth me. You talked about me to everyone else. And Teresa goes,
yeah, how about a clean slate it is? How about you do a clean slate it is?
You badmouth me to everybody.
Well, you badmouth me too, baby.
Well, I finally said it after all this time. After Paul said, you know what? You should think about what she's been saying. And so I said, I'm going to think about what she's been saying. And I said it. You've been talking shit about me.
And then Fessler is like, Melissa, is this your sandwich? I need something. I can't with this. You getting this?
She starts stuffing a sandwich in her mouth. Crazy. So Dolores is like, so then Jen is like, you said that was fucked up too, Teresa, what she did. And Dolores is like, Teresa, how many things has she said about me? You know what? I don't even have time for this. I'm not a forensic accountant. I can't do this.
And Fessler goes, none of you guys are running up to anything you said. And Dolores goes, Jen Fessler, wrong place to do this, wrong people to do it with.
Dolores hates that when someone butts in. Wrong place. You know what? You know what? It's like when
Fessler, Jen Fessler.
When the Jehovah's Witnesses knock on my door. Wrong place, wrong people, okay?
Yeah. So then Dolores is like, listen, it's fine to be where we are. We're in the same place right now. We show up, we say hello. I take my feet out of the water. Everybody's terrified. I'm fine with it. And Jen goes, yeah, well, I'm done with caring about people who don't care about me, baby. It's like, oh, God, Jen the fucking victim again, right? So Teresa's like, you need to stay calm. You need to go, namaste in it, namaste in it. And Teresa goes, hey, guys, let me ask about your opinions, then, about where I'm going to be seating people at my wedding. And she's trying to change the conversation.
Because Jen is like, oh, my God, these people on top of it, I got to see them all at your wedding, baby. Just don't put me near them, put me in the bleachers, baby. So that's when Teresa's like, oh, yeah, speaking of which, so I was thinking about not having no seating arrangements. And Margaret's like, well, that's probably a good idea because last time you had seating arrangements, you had issues, okay? Segue, Melissa and Teresa, your turn.
So then we see the clip of the reunion where Melissa is saying, you had me and my children come to your rehearsal dinner and or whatever it was, so your engagement party, and we had to sit at the kids' table. And then we cut back and Teresa goes, yeah, but the reason that she was sitting there was because she asked to sit there. And Melissa goes, Teresa. And she goes, yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it and get you upset at it.
She's like, are you kidding me? I thought you would never look me in my eyes and actually just blatantly lie. When we got there were two tables, you and Louie's family and Dina at one table, and then me and Jennifer and some hairdressers at the other table. And you even came over and you apologized and said, I'm sorry, guys, don't make a big deal out of this.
And Dolores goes, in an Italian family, it's a big deal where you sit.
And Teresa's like, yeah, but why would I want my only brother not to sit right next to me, huh? So why not? And Melissa's like, you were sitting next to Louie's sisters. And she goes, I swear on my father and my mother and my 4 daughters that this is what happens.
My daughters. And Melissa's like, well, that was where we were supposed to be, and that's where we were. And Jen goes, you said you felt bad about it. I remember that. And she's like, yeah, then why would you bring... Melissa's saying, I don't give a shit about this anyway. And she's like, then why would you bring it up in New York? And she's like, because you were fighting with your brother and calling him a piece of shit. You were so horrible to us in New York. And she goes, okay, the reason I didn't invite you, let's put it on the table. I'm like, okay, so you're confessing that you've been lying this entire time.
Yes.
And just like, it's so Teresa to be like, okay, I've been lying the whole time, but here's why. She's like, it was about Margaret, because like I felt like you weren't sticking up for me.
And then Melissa's like, how many times did I tell Margaret to drop it? Like, how many times, Margaret, did I tell you to drop it about Louis? You know what? She said it a million times. She just wouldn't stop even saying it. I was like, come on, Melissa, I'm trying to pull my thick and spray here. And you won't stop talking about Louis here. Telling me to shut up about Louis, okay?
Yeah, Melissa goes, yeah, and I said you're not going to change your mind. You love Louis. And she goes, yeah, but if you told her to stop it. She goes, oh, so I'm the bad guy. So it's just more of this, like... you're saying I'm the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. And Teresa, I have to say, is staying calmer than we've ever seen Teresa stay, which is amazing. because Melissa is rising up and like really yelling. Like Melissa's going for it, thinking this is going to be the big blowout fight, and Teresa's not giving it to her. Which,
well, Teresa's staying calm, but Teresa's also being horrific. I mean, like Teresa first lies and says like, "Oh no, they didn't want to be at that table." Then she reveals that was a lie. I mean, she was like, Teresa's heinous to them. She is absolutely heinous. And then she's saying, Melissa's lost her mind because she's like, this fucking bitch who I've had to pretend to be nice to. And now she's going to try to gaslight me about like where I was sitting. And Teresa's like, she's like, you know what? You're my sister-in-law. Family is everything, and you know that. And Melissa's like, I'm so sick of this. Stop saying family, family, family. And then she goes, well, I'm not saying family, family, family now, huh?
You literally just said it. And then Melissa's like, yeah, well, you should stop. And then Teresa just like ends like with that dumb look where she straightens up and just blinks really fast, like, blink, 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 like trying to process something to say. And that's where we end the episode. What a crazy show. Love this show.
Maniacs.
Love it.
But it's a good season. So, this is a good season because everyone's got shit going on. There's a disaster everywhere. So thanks everyone for listening and for watching. We'll be back later this week with Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of Miami, Dwell Hello. I think Dwell Hello is next week, but if you need to catch up, go check out Dwell Hello on Wondery Plus. Super fun. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Can't stop fanning over Tina Manning.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Christy Wowardy Dowardy.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Undo your fasteners, it's Aaron Kastner.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill. Make it Lastner with Aaron Kastner.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.